From sweet and sticky to spicy and bold, I'm frying chicken 5 different ways from around the world. We're talking Korean double fried crunch, classic southern buttermilk style, spicy Nashville heat, tangy buffalo wings, and crispy Chinese salt and pepper chicken. Different cultures, different techniques, all delicious. And at the end, I'm picking the one I'd make again tomorrow. Grab your oil, your spices, and your appetite, and meet me in the kitchen. Let's fry some chicken. All right, guys, right out of the gate, before we get the party started, let me save you some money. When you buy whole wings, they're usually significantly cheaper per pound than the ones that are already portioned out or the ones that the grocery store does the butchering for you. It's very simple and easy to do at home, and it saves you a couple bucks per pound usually. All you gotta do is find the joint in between the drum and the flat. And then again, for the wing tip, take a sharp knife, separate those joints, save the wing tips for some chicken stock. You save yourself some money and you got the same thing you would have got from the store, plus the wing tips for your chicken stock. For our chicken tenders today, we're actually using breast, but you can grab chicken tenders from the grocery store if you want to. If you have some breast in the freezer, which most of us do, go ahead and defrost it, cut it into bite-sized pieces, and you got chicken tenders just that easy. All right, guys, buffalo wings. Probably the most simple recipe that we have on the list today. I'm gonna hit it with a little olive oil or avocado oil, AP seasoning, which is a blend of salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, a little chicken bouillon. We're gonna double fry these. So you wanna fry them first at 325 degrees for about 6 to 8 minutes. Remove them, get the heat up to 375 to 400, and then flash fry them for 2 to 4 minutes until they're extra crispy. So, all buffalo sauce isn't created equal. You can have, mild, medium, hot, totally up to you. If you're going mild, you can grab the buffalo wing sauce from Frank's Red Hot. If you want it to be considered more medium or hot, you can grab the original Frank's Red Hot. Half a stick of butter, half a stick of hot sauce, a little garlic powder, a little worst word in the world sauce. That's all you need. All right, people, buffalo wings are on the clock, an American classic, traditionally served with blue cheese. I got ranch today. Let me know in the comments what you prefer, blue cheese or ranch. I'm also a drums over flats guy, so cuss me out in the comments if you must. That's a great buffalo wing. Not too spicy, I'm kind of a punk. Great start to the chicken episode. All right, guys, we're taking a trip down south from Buffalo, New York, down to Southern America, where we're gonna get this buttermilk fried chicken started. All right, so the buttermilk brine is used to tenderize and flavor the chicken. So we're going in with a little pickle juice, couple tablespoons, and about 2 to 3 cups of buttermilk, depending on how many wings you're making. We're gonna go ahead and add that. A little garlic, some hot sauce. Let me know in the comments what your favorite side dish is for fried chicken. If this was for me, I'd go mac and cheese, a little cornbread, some butter beans, or collard greens, depending on how I'm feeling. Let's be for real. Let's take the top off and really add some Frank's Red Hot in there. And then season it. You want to let this soak for 2 to 24 hours. I wouldn't go longer than 24 hours because the acid in the buttermilk tenderizes the meat and starts to break down those muscle fibers. And if you do your marinade for too long, the texture could get a little too mushy. So just be careful about that, up to 24 hours max. And then before we fry, I'm gonna add 1 egg to this mixture just to help the flour really adhere to the chicken. All right, guys, so what we have in here is 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/2 cup of cornstarch. We also have 2 tablespoons of baking powder. That's gonna add some airiness to the breading. It's gonna add nice crisp factor as well. We're gonna season that up with some salt, some cayenne, some garlic, some onion. Keep it nice and simple, but make sure you have your adequate salt content in there. Then I got a real special trick I'm gonna show you at the very end. But you wanna get in there with your hands and make sure that these are evenly coated, no bald spots. Let them sit on the counter breaded completely for about 10 to 15 minutes before you fry them. That's gonna ensure that the flour adheres to the chicken and they're nice and crispy when they come out of that oil. All right, guys, one of my pro tips when I fry chicken is I like to hit it with a little bit of finishing seasoning. Put together whatever blend you like. This is a little bit of my lemon bay seasoning and just a pinch of chicken bouillon powder, which has a little MSG. While the chicken is still hot and draining from the oil, This seasoning is gonna kind of absorb itself into that skin, the exterior, and make for an extra flavorful bite. All right, guys, moment of truth time for Southern buttermilk fried chicken. I guess it doesn't have to be Southern, right? Everybody fries chicken, whether you're in the North or the South. This could be hard to beat. It'll be a tough out. The finishing seasoning really brings it home. The buttermilk helps it get nice and tender, crispy from the baking powder, cornstarch, flour ratio. You guys got to give this one a try. I need some alone time with this. All right, guys, since we're already in the South, we might as well head on over to Nashville for some Nashville hot chicken. This recipe is very similar to the Southern fried chicken recipe when it comes to the seasoned flour and the buttermilk brine. The difference is going to be the hot chili oil that we put together with the cayenne and all that good stuff. You'll see that here in a second. All right, so now for what makes Nashville hot chicken, Nashville hot chicken. We're gonna get the sauce going, or the oil, whatever you wanna call it. 1 to 2 tablespoons of brown sugar going in. 1/2 cup of the frying oil, the oil used for frying. And then 2 to 4 tablespoons of cayenne pepper, depending on how brave you are. This is really what makes it Nashville hot chicken. The recipe originated by a wife that was trying to do something mean to her husband, and he ended up loving it. So we ended up with Nashville hot. So shout out to a woman scorned for a delicious recipe. A little garlic powder, a little paprika. I'm gonna give that a mix, and that's gonna be what we coat our chicken in. All right, my friends, moment of truth. Nashville hot, dipped in ranch, like a gentleman. Let's see what we got. That's really good. The brown sugar comes in first, like a friendly hug, but really there's a kick coming behind it. But it's like perfect. That's good. If you like Nashville hot chicken, you gotta try this recipe. All right, guys, that wraps up the American fried chicken. Now it's time to head east for our Korean fried chicken. This one's gonna be double fried again, one at a lower temperature, 325, and then again at 375, and we have a delicious, sticky, sweet, and spicy sauce that we're gonna toss those wings in. All right, guys, so for the Korean wing glaze, we're going with 2 tablespoons of gochujang, 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of rice wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of garlic, 1 tablespoon of ginger, and a teaspoon of sesame oil. We're gonna simmer that for a minute or two, let everything come together. All right, guys, so one of the trends you'll notice with Asian style fried chicken is the ratio to cornstarch and flour is a little bit different. They lean a little heavier on cornstarch or potato starch, where in America we lean heavier on all-purpose flour. So for this recipe, we need 1.5 cups of cornstarch, 1/2 cup of all-purpose flour, very simple seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, or your favorite all-purpose. We're gonna bread the wings and then fry them at 325. Bring them out, get the temperature up to 375, and then fry them again. All right, people, moment of truth. This looks, probably visually, this might be the best one so far. A little toasted sesame seeds for some razzle dazzle, a little garnish. Let's see what we got. I don't know what's gotten into the chickens that we've cooked today, but they're all juicy. Shout out to Harris Teeter. The sauce, perfect blend of sweet, spicy. This is really good. All right, guys, next up we have Chinese salt and pepper fried chicken. This is very simple, but super delicious. It's comprised of green onion or scallion, garlic, some Fresno chilies, or you can use jalapenos. I've seen that in some places. MSG is a big component here. A lot of MSG in Chinese cooking in general. But if you want to skip that, you can leave it out. I wouldn't. So all you got to do is season up the chicken, keep it simple, salt, pepper, garlic, onion powder, things like that, or your favorite all-purpose seasoning. Then we're going to coat them in cornstarch, fry them at 350 degrees for 8 to 12 minutes, depending on the size of your chicken. And then we toss them in that garlic, peppers, green onions, that infused oil, season to taste at the end, and it's gonna be delicious. All right, guys, this is really simple. While our chicken is frying, we're gonna go ahead and melt about a half a stick of butter, a couple tablespoons of oil, and then in goes our green onions, our peppers, and our garlic. We're just gonna saute that until it's fragrant, literally 3-4 minutes max. And then we're gonna add a little bit of MSG to this mixture. We're gonna pour that or toss that with the wings and then finish it with salt and white pepper. And then you have salt and pepper chicken. Quick reminder, all these recipes and every recipe on this channel can be found at MrMakeItHappen.com. Let me know in the comments if you wanna see more content like this, what we should do next. Very hot. Very juicy. This is good. Surprisingly good. We were just having a conversation off camera about how we thought this was going to turn out. That's good. All right, guys, so as expected, this was an absolute dogfight, down to the wire. My top 3 are the Chinese salt and pepper chicken, the Korean, and Nashville Hot. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.